Happy 30-year anniversary to one of the greatest shows ever to air on television, Twin Peaks. In this video, Carl and I will be sampling the brand new Twin Peaks coffee for the first time and giving you our review, as well as telling you why Twin Peaks is one of the most important shows of modern television and why, if you haven't watched it, you should check it out immediately.
Fellas, don't drink that coffee. There was a fish in the percolator.
Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Justin.
It is early. I am not awake yet. I haven't had coffee.
Neither have I.
I saved my coffee drinking this morning.
I'm really curious to see what defines a damn fine cup of coffee.
This is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
I found out about this through an ad on Instagram. Everything's an Instagram ad these days. So Carl and I ordered the Twin Peaks coffee. I have a whole bean coffee. It's made by a company called Allegro, which makes other fine coffees. It smells wonderful. It's got a nice little write-up on the back. Carl, do you want to read the write-up?
3 decades ago, creative geniuses David Lynch and Mark Frost masterminded a TV series set in a sleepy Washington town where the townsfolk connect through tragedy and mystery. Just like the show, this coffee is dark and complex, but open for interpretation.
Agent Cooper here might want to try a slice of that pie.
A cherry pie?
Best in the Tri-Counties.
I do have a slice of homemade cherry pie sitting on deck.
A perfect pairing if you're watching the show.
Do you want pie with your coffee?
Massive quantities and a glass of water, sweetheart. My socks are on fire.
All right, so I'm going to open this up. I'm going to grind it.
Yes.
It's a very dark smelling roast. So here are the beans. They're very dark, smell very rich, almost like an espresso or an Italian roast. It smells amazing. I am so excited for this coffee. You have no idea.
Me too.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Twin Peaks for a second.
I was exactly going to go there.
Okay, so pretend I'm someone who's never, ever heard of this show, seen it. Like, what can you tell me about this show?
Well, the show is, on the surface, a murder mystery. In the sleepy Washington town, a young girl, Laura Palmer, is found dead. And we find out some really interesting, very mystical, spooky, sordid secrets.
In the heat of the investigative pursuit, the shortest distance between 2 points is not necessarily a straight line.
It was like part murder mystery serial and then part surrealist soap opera.
And I would add high school teen drama.
And high school teen drama.
Do you remember the first time you ever watched Twin Peaks?
I do. I actually caught it when it was actually airing originally. I watched random episodes here and there. I thought it was a weird, quirky show. A few years later, when I was in college, I had a buddy of mine give me a VHS. And then since then, I've been in love with it ever since. And in turn, David Lynch.
That's how I watched it too. I watched it in college. And this movie called Lost Highway came out. And I thought it looked cool and dark. So I went and saw it. And I was like obsessed. And I was like, who is this David Lynch guy? So then I went back and, you know, I heard about this show Twin Peaks. I was like, what is this? I got to check this out. So like you, I went and rented the VHS tapes from the local video store. And dude, I was like obsessed. Like I remember watching the entire series like in a weekend, I think maybe, or like a week. And they came on these crappy VHS tapes that were like, where you'd have like, I think 3 episodes of tape or something.
It was 5. I actually
ended up
I ended up buying that set.
Yeah, and it was like super low quality because to cram that many episodes on a tape, they have to use this different tape speed, which makes the quality worse. Yeah. So I remember like just watching it on these like grainy, crappy like VHS tapes, but it didn't matter. Like it was such a groundbreaking show. First of all, I couldn't believe this was a show that was on TV.
Do you know where dreams come from?
How did this get made? Like, how did ABC sign off on this and air it? And the whole time I remember thinking, how did audiences react to this? Like, I was very curious. But then I slowly started learning that it had a very strong cult following, especially amongst artists, and it was very influential to other filmmakers and television showrunners. I started to see kind of the tendrils of the Twin Peaks legacy like throughout other series that I had been watching, notably X-Files.
Yeah.
Dude, that is the sound of my coffee being done. I'm very excited. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I have a Twin Peaks mug.
Hold on one sec.
Let's pour it. Oh, yeah. Nice. Get that ASMR French pour. We should have made an ASMR video out of this. Alrighty. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
I'm going to say it. It's a damn fine cup of coffee.
It is. This is very high quality coffee. This is delicious.
It's very smooth.
You know, sometimes with strong, dark coffees, like you get some gnarly acidities or gnarly notes. This is clean. It's very clean, very smooth.
It has a light texture to it. It's not dark roast. Definitely not.
I would say it's a medium to dark roast.
I'd be medium dark, but it's not dark.
Carl, did you bake that pie?
I did. I made this pie from scratch.
Amazing.
Oh, by the way, coffee at the Great Northern, incredible.
This is an excellent coffee bean. I would actually say it's smoother than the Starbucks roast I've had.
It's very smooth. It's a very smooth blend.
It's probably higher quality. I believe it retails for about $15, but with the shipping, I believe all in, you know, you're paying $20 for a pound of coffee. Yeah. So it's not cheap, but, you know, we had to try it. We're supporting, you know, our hero, David Lynch.
Yes.
You know, as an excuse to revisit Twin Peaks.
Gentlemen, when two separate events occur simultaneously pertaining to the same object of inquiry, we must always pay strict attention.
Twin Peaks is one of those shows that just shook up the television landscape in general. Those shows come around, you know, once a decade, once a generation. I would argue that, like, The Twilight Zone was one of those shows. I would argue maybe Lost was a show like that, or maybe
Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Breaking Bad. Shows that, like, have such a unique and fresh perspective and approach that, like, everyone else takes notice, and it kind of makes everyone else step their game up. I feel like before Twin Peaks, there wasn't as much of an effort to treat a show like cinema.
Yeah.
One of the first things that struck me when I watched the Twin Peaks pilot, which, by the way, is like a movie. The pilot itself is like a 90-minute film.
Yes.
And if nothing else, just watch that. Just watch the pilot at least. Mm-hmm. Just give the pilot a shot. If you don't like it, fine. Don't watch the rest of the show. But the pilot alone is like worthy of a watch as a film itself. And I remember thinking when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, this is like a movie. Like this is not a TV show. This feels like I'm watching a movie. And I feel that was the beginning of television starting to really elevate its content and feel more like cinema. Now, I feel like it's commonplace for television to be on par with big budget movies in terms of the quality of the cinema, the cinematography, the scoring, the acting, the writing. Everything has been elevated now. You know, when you watch, like, you know, dramas from the 80s, like pre-Twin Peaks, like, and you compare them to stuff now, most of it is bad and it looks bad.
It's just
and
ham and eggs. Yeah, it's like ham and eggs, procedural. Yeah.
Now you have, like, so many amazing shows on cable, on Netflix, on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Twin Peaks was kind of the beginning of pushing TV in that direction, of having a true artist come on board and say, this is how it's done, guys. This is how we can make a great television show.
Excellent point. I couldn't have said it better myself.
You know, one thing I think that'll be striking if you've never seen it and you tune in now, and, you know, lucky for viewers out there now, seasons 1 and 2 are on Netflix now. Beautiful, crystal clear HD quality, which we didn't have, you know, when we first watched this. So, I mean, there's no excuse. Go on Netflix. At least check out the pilot.
Don't plan it. Don't wait for it. Just let it happen.
What I will say, I dare say, and, you know, you guys can watch this. Let me know if I'm right. But if you go on there and watch this now, like, I dare say it's going to feel like a contemporary show. It's going to feel like a show that was made in 2020. You know, that's how ahead of its time it was. You watch any show from '89 now, and, like, it's going to feel like this dated, kind of like out of touch show. I would argue if you watch Twin Peaks now, it'll feel like a show from now.
Jump in. Hear the other side, see the other side.
It's just cool. Like, everything about Twin Peaks is cool. Like, from the characters to the writing to the music. The music is unbelievable.
It's beautiful music.
Carl, what's your final pitch to people that haven't seen the show? Why do they need to watch it immediately?
We're in an era of premium television. We have been for the past 20 years. All these premium Netflix shows, HBO shows. And if you really want to know where that began, It started with Twin Peaks. I would make that argument. And Twin Peaks, for me, on a personal level, inspired me to go into this industry that we call the entertainment industry. David Lynch is a hero of mine, and he just did something that was so different than anything else out there, and he continues to do that to this day.
I'm with you, man. David Lynch's work, and specifically Twin Peaks, which I will say is my favorite of his works, is probably one of the biggest inspirations artistically for me, and what continues to inspire, almost haunt me, to say like, no, like you need to sit down and write something, you need to make something. Carl and I are writing partners, and we've written many television pilots together. You know, we're still trying to get some kind of scripted thing off the ground. To make something on the level of genius as Twin Peaks is our dream. So we are both very grateful to David Lynch and all of the artists involved with this show. Mark Frost, we shouldn't ignore Mark Frost. I think
Not at all.
I think Mark Frost deserves a lot of credit, because this show is very different than a lot of the other work that David Lynch has done, and you can definitely see the Mark Frost influence. I think he's a very important collaborator. Another very important element is the music of Angelo Badalamenti.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable composer.
Unbelievable.
And the amazing cast in the show. So we have deep love and gratitude to the show, and we just want to share it with you guys. We hope to bring new fans on board. I'd love to hear from you guys. Like, if you guys are fans of the show, like, let us know why. If you guys have never seen it and you plan on checking it out, please comment below after you've seen it. Let us know what you thought. Please like this video and subscribe if you enjoy this video. We'll have plenty of new videos coming out in the coming weeks. We're going to be talking about Umbrella Academy and The Boys, which are both premiering soon. We're planning many videos on both of those series. And also upcoming movies like the new Bill and Ted's movie, the new Wonder Woman movie. Lots of content coming up on the channel, so please subscribe. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys. Bye.